As our world continues to get dumber and dumber, it's important that we take a moment, pause, and reflect on all the incredibly inane nonsense that exists in our world. It seems like we're bending the rules of logic to an unthinkable extreme. So, my friends and allies, I'd like to welcome you to the games of the first Cancel Culture Olympiad, where we award achievement medals in the world of ridiculous cancellation. These people have had their lives ruined and destroyed for completely innocuous acts, which no rational person could possibly perceive as problematic. However, they will at least receive a special Stu Does America Olympic medal. I mean, we don't have the budget for actual medals, but it's a virtual medal. They'll like it, don't worry. Sometimes these people are undeserving victims of a vicious and insane mob. Sometimes they're such pathetic pushovers that their apologies will warm your hearts and destroy your soul. But all of them have been a participant in the downfall of our society in one way or the other. So let's honor their achievements, shall we? Our bronze medal today goes to the senior curator of painting and sculpture at the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. Was he some hate-mongering white supremacist? Well, of course he was, even though it would be hard to see this hatred coming because, the fact he's a curator of a San Francisco museum and had called a Zoom meeting to explain how they were trying to diversify the artists being featured there. After going through all the work from the people of color that the museum was preparing to feature, he threw out as an aside a comment that would change his life forever. He said, and brace yourself, "Don't worry, we will definitely still continue to collect white artists." Now, of course, the correct thing to say is that you believe all white artists should be murdered for their whiteness. But no, in fact, someone asked him about it afterward, and he said, quote, that the museum could not avoid collecting the work of white men, which would, of course, amount to reverse discrimination. Oh my, I hope you were in a safe space when you heard that. Now, there are some people out there that would still hold on to the idea that eliminating an entire race from your museum does sound a bit discriminatory. But those people are bad people. Our bronze medal winner was then asked to clarify his comments. Surely he couldn't be saying that his museum would display art from white people, right? His response, quote, "To say that we will not collect another white artist, I absolutely do not agree with." Oh my. Obviously, a petition was circulated with an absolutely rational reaction. Quote, "Gary's removal from San Francisco MoMA is non-negotiable. Considering his lengthy tenure at this institution, we wonder how long his toxic white supremacist beliefs regarding race and equity directed at his position." Okay, this is just nonsense. A position curating the content of his museum. Blah, blah, blah. It makes perfect sense if you think about it or don't think about it. He said he would not exclude white people, the literal definition of white supremacy. If you're a white supremacist yourself, you might think he deserves an apology. But no, he needed to apologize for himself. I want to offer my personal and sincere apology to every one of you. I do not believe I have ever said that it is important to collect the art of white men. I have said that it is important that we do not exclude consideration of the art of white men. Nevertheless, he said, I realize in the current climate I can no longer effectively work at San Francisco MoMA. Congratulations, Gary Garrels, canceled from his life's work, but a winner of the bronze medal in the Cancel Culture Olympics. Our silver medal winner comes to you from the suburbs of Chaz, also known as Seattle. A local ginger beer company has thankfully been called out for her cultural appropriation. I sincerely hope you're listening to this show on podcast today instead of viewing it, because I'm about to show you a shocking photo. Yes, it is a white woman with dreadlocks. Just one look at this woman, and I am sure you're thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. Basically, David Duke. Am I right? It's basically David Duke. Now, obviously, just being a white woman with dreadlocks is enough to cancel her business and probably imprison her for life. But it gets so much worse. Thankfully, this detective of racism on Instagram was willing to call it out. Quote, "She is a white woman with dreadlocks and allegedly gives her product to cops, the people brutalizing her customer base for free." That's right, people. She is giving ginger beer to our oppressors. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. We need to defund the police, not fund the police with ginger beer. Hot on the case of racism in the soda production world, this racism detective did not let up, noting, quote, "No one has confronted her about how her choice to willfully appropriate black hairstyling is highly problematic." Can you believe this? No one confronted her about her problematic hair or her free ginger beer to cops. Until racial equity is achieved in wealth, politics, education, and work, white people should not be wearing dreads out of love, solidarity, and respect for black people. At least, this is my current understanding. I love that. So look, once we receive full equality in wealth, politics, education, and work, that'll be easy. Then we can let female business owners choose their own hair. At least, this is our current understanding. Obviously, that could change tomorrow, and then you will be held to that new, currently unknown standard, measured retroactively and without grace. Luckily, our dreadlocked white woman got the message, posting, quote, "Hello, everyone. It's Rachel. I have come to understand, far too belatedly, that my hairstyle is harmful. It is clear that I have been stubbornly resistant, and I sincerely apologize to those I hurt. I am deeply sorry for the pain I caused to the members of the African American community who have been and still are discriminated against and mistreated for having dreadlocks. And I am so sorry it took so long to admit and address my mistake. I have an appointment to remove my dreadlocks. Yes, decapitate each individual lock and make them dread they were ever dreadlocked. Congratulations, Rachel Marshall, founder of Rachel's Ginger Beer in Seattle. You've won a silver medal in today's Cancel Culture Olympics." And finally, our gold medal winner, highlighted by Instagram account Vegan Street Fair. A simple message to all vegans. Now, you might think vegans would be some of the most woke among us, but soon you will know the truth about the incredible and close ties between white supremacy and veganism. The attached text notes, "I realize many of y'all aren't ready for this conversation, but you have to get up to speed ASAP if you truly want to be allies of this movement." Well, that's me. I want to be up to speed. So what do we need to know? The first page shows that African Americans are more likely to be vegan than white people. Now, you might think that this works against the vegan white supremacy thesis, but you just wait. Despite the fact that the vegan movement is largely supported and advanced by people of color, mainstream veganism is overwhelmingly white and inaccessible. All too often, it is complicit in maintaining white supremacy in both our food system and the world at large. Do you want white supremacy in your food system? I know I don't. How is this happening? Well, in part by, quote, repackaging foods traditionally eaten by BIPOCs, or Black, Indigenous people of color, for centuries as new or novel, such as tofu or quinoa. There is nothing more white supremacist than trying to take credit for tofu and quinoa. Then there is the helpful list of things for white people to do, so their veganism is just a little less Nazi-like. First, don't co-opt BLM or other movements led by BIPOCs. Sorry, Whitey, Marxists have already taken care of that whole thing. Don't claim your diet or lifestyle is truly free. This one's interesting because you'd think if they're also vegan, you'd have the same diet. So why wouldn't it be cruelty-free? Easy answer. White people are involved. Don't demonize BIPOCs that are not vegan while ignoring the role of Western imperialism in popularizing meat and dairy. Now, this might be tough for some people because I'm pretty sure the first words in the vegan constitution are that you should demonize anyone that isn't vegan. But if they're vegan and black, you shouldn't criticize them because the white man and his imperialism has forced meat and cheese to be popular, and therefore black people are blameless in their animal murder. Obviously. So, while in some ways this medal of white supremacy goes to all vegans, it specifically calls out the racist name of two white vegans, the founders of Thug Kitchen. they've dedicated their lives to combining vegan recipes with lots of swearing, which made them edgy and stuff. But the word thug is very problematic. As Vice so brilliantly noted, either they knowingly benefited from a form of digital blackface, or they're racially tone deaf. Now, some people might think that suggesting the word thug has something to do with black people is racist in and of itself, but you know who would say that? The KKK. That's who. So congratulations to Michelle Davis and Matt Holloway, founders of Thug Kitchen, who later apologized and are now known as Bad Manners Food. You, along with all white supremacist vegans, have won the gold medal in today's edition of the Cancel Culture Olympiad. Hi, Stu Bergier of Stu Does America here. Thanks so much for watching our video. Did you know you can watch our entire catalog for free right here on our channel? Subscribe now and be sure to hit the thumbs up button on all the episodes you watch, because that's how they know you like this stupid show. And that little bell in the corner as well, make sure you click that. You'll get notifications every time we post new content. Stu Does America, every weekday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here.